Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Christopher.
How's it
Hello,
going?
everybody. Hi, Maria.
Hello again.
How's it going?
It's going well. I
Awesome.
had to go turn
It,
off the music.
So,
oh, you were jamming out.
Yes, it's that kind of night, jamming away. So
Um,
turn it off. Otherwise, I was bringing the party online.
awesome. Happy to have everybody here for Together Tuesdays once again for November 14th, 2023. I'm Anisa Margin. I'm the founder of AMCSI, and I am joined by my friends Ted and Chris and Maria.
Hola.
And later on today or tonight, I'm thinking it's today still. I don't know why. But later on tonight, we will have David Solano to talk about his book, which is really exciting. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
We'll let him in. So we're excited to see you guys. If you want to join in on our Zoom call, please do. Our link is shared on our social media post for Tonight Together Tuesday, or you can join us live on Facebook. This meeting is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel shortly after this meeting. So that's exciting too. So you don't have to necessarily be here, but we love our live audience. Hey David, how are you?
Hello there. How you doing
Welcome.
today?
Good. How are you? I'm so happy that you could join us for Together Tuesdays live on Facebook.
Yeah, live video. That's pretty fun.
Yes, yes. So I just have a couple of announcements to make, and then we'll get started with David, our special guest for tonight. So as you guys know, November 28th, which is in 2 weeks from today, is Giving Tuesday. And this year we are hoping to raise money for some of our AMC families. And this year we're focusing on the holiday fund. You might have seen a couple of our posts come across your newsfeed. So we definitely would love your support in that aspect. We'd love to help as many families as we possibly can. I know a lot of people are going through some hardships, and we of course, have big hearts over here at AMCSI, and we love helping our community. So we would love for you guys, if you cannot donate, please share, because there might be somebody in your network that is looking for an organization to donate, and this is a great organization to help out, if not for the holiday fund, of course, for the end of year giving, which is coming up next month. Let's see, what else do we have? The holiday card exchange, which is another exciting community event for our members and those who are not. But we would love for you guys to sign up if you're interested in the holiday card exchange. This is an annual event that AMCSI hosts, and I think it's December 1st is our deadline for the holiday card exchange.
Yes.
So if you're interested in participating in that, please sign up. The details are on our website as well as on our social medias. We do have upcoming Zoom meetings coming up. Adults meet every Saturday religiously. They just love talking till 3 o'clock in the morning. We love our AMC adults, but they are there very dedicated. But we do, this weekend is very busy for our Zoom meetings. We do have our preteens and our teens that meet on November the 18th, and we have our young adults that meet on November 19th. Pre-registration is required though for our preteens, so please make sure that if you have a child 13 and under and they would like to participate in the preteen Zoom, please make sure that you register your child for that. We have two awesome research projects that are going on right now. And they also have hard deadlines. If you go to amcsupport.org is it / Ted?
/ yes.
Okay, I'll make sure I do it right this time. / research, or just go to our website and search for the research page. We do have two that are going on right now, and one has a hard deadline of December 15th. So if you are an AMCer who is currently pregnant, or has children, please participate in this survey, because it's very important to collect that data for the doctors that are researching it. They really want to know about your pregnancy and how it affects you as an AMCer. And then the amyoplasia research is also needing 10 more participants. So if you are an adult with arthrogryposis and have the amyoplasia diagnosis, please see our website for more details on how to participate. We're so excited because 90 people signed up for that research study. So that's a lot, but we need 10 more.
Right.
And there is a webinar coming up with what is it? The wheeled mobility and arthrogryposis, November 29th, with Misha, Kirby Brown, Dr. Sawatsky, and Dr. Mortensen. So that's really exciting. So see our website, and our socials for that upcoming information. I think Misha just posted it today. So that information is upcoming as well. Just make sure that you guys have saved the date for the 4th International Symposium for Arthrogryposis in Montreal. That's September 29th through October the 1st. And I think that's all I have, Ted. Was that it on our list to talk about tonight?
That is all that we have. We also have a few other things that we'll mention towards the end, but I think we want to hear from David about his book here. That it's gonna be all
I'm
about
so
this.
excited. Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited to have David Solano join us today for our Together Tuesdays. We love having special guests. Last week we had Rini and Crystal join us to talk about some fundraising for AMCSI, as well as the Starlight Foundation. Crystal's not here right now, but I'm really excited about the Bear for AMC awareness. So yeah, I'm very excited to introduce David Solano. He's been in our community for quite a long time. If you are in our community groups on Facebook, you will see David encouraging all of our members in any way he can, especially when it comes to exercising and movement. I know that he is really good friends with a lot of our community members, and we are really excited to learn more about David's book. So David, take it away, introduce yourself, and let us know, some awesome items about your life, and please tell us about your book and how we can secure one for ourselves at home.
Well, that was nice of you guys to say all the nice things about me. I'm David Solano. I'm in my 25th year of being a school teacher, and my 25th year of being a basketball coach. 18th year of being a paid basketball coach. So that's been a journey to be a basketball coach. Being a basketball coach of not special needs kids, but a basketball coach of everyday normal kid, whatever you call normal kids. And I created my own nonprofit about 5 years ago, called Solano's No Limit Hoops. And I created it because I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of minorities fail, and a lot of minorities get in trouble. And I built it because the reason they're failing is they have nothing to do. When they have nothing to do, they're going to go out and they're going to cause trouble. And a lot of society wants our younger kids to be involved, but a lot of them don't want to be involved with certain activities that are out there. So I created a free basketball program to help keep kids off the streets in a tough neighborhood. And last year we averaged 65 kids a night in our program, which is huge because you're keeping them off the streets, you're getting them out of trouble, and they're going to behave in school the next day because they're going to be tired because they just had a big old night of basketball. So that's kind of what I do in my community. And I know in my community, I'm just coach. I'm not David Solano. I'm not the man with arthrogryposis. I don't even know if any of the kids would know the word arthrogryposis. They just know me as coach. And some of them I taught, so they call me Mr. Solano still. But I'm never David.
Nice.
And so I went on this mission because I knew the next thing was to come up with a book. So a lot of people get on and tell me, you got to come out with a book, David. You have to do a book, excuse me, to get yourself to the next level. And so this summer I sat down and I wrote a book. It's kind of crazy. I thought it was a dumb idea in the beginning, And as I sat there and typed it up and went through my life stories, I was like, I think we have a good book. And the reviews so far that I've gotten have been really, really positive and outgoing. And I'm like, I'm excited where the book's going to go. We've done a couple of presentations at high schools and junior high schools, and I think we did one the other day with 110 kids in the house, which is pretty cool.
That is awesome.
And it was, kind of fun to just go there and tell a story and tell kids that there's a chance to survive no matter what your circumstances are. Because a
Mhm.
lot of kids, they see they have an obstacle in their way and they just lay there and they don't try to fight over that obstacle. And it don't matter if you have AMC or if you just come from a bad neighborhood, you still have obstacles to overcome. And I think my story talks about overcoming AMC in many ways, and it talks about overcoming my bad neighbor that I grew up in. And so the kids in my neighborhood understand that. And as they've read the story, some of them have read the story and they've talked to me about it. They're like, I have hope now, coach. I see what you're always telling us, all these stories. And so I think it's real positive to see that coming out right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely wow, what a testimony. David, who was like your most influential person in your life? Who was there for you? And even growing up, I mean, how did you get to be like just as I know you had mentioned you're a motivational speaker and all this other stuff, but what influenced you to become a teacher and really just put yourself out there? Because I know just in our community alone, you have made a lot of waves with a lot of our AMCers with just your advice and being there for them. So is there anybody in particular that you are just so thankful for?
I go to my parents. My parents were huge. I was born in the 70s before they had like doctors knew a lot of stuff about in today's world, and technology was around and AMC doctors were around. And my doctors didn't know. They went and looked up doctor after doctor after doctor, and they found this doctor that thought outside the box. And he knew what the other doctors said about arthrogryposis, but he was like, "We're just gonna build muscle." And they were like, "He has no muscle." The doctor's like, "Yeah, but we're gonna build muscle." And my parents, they took therapy to a whole different level. They found a place for me to go to that therapy, like a special school called Sewall Rehabilitation Center, and they're in Denver, Colorado, and they were the huge starting block to get me going. And my parents took me there religiously, and they made me do therapy religiously. Like all I did was therapy, eat, therapy, sleep, repeat. Therapy, eat, therapy. It was just wild when we did the therapy. Now I still do therapy regularly. Like I believe we still get muscle as we get older. I'm almost 50 and I lived more than when I did when I was 40, and I can still do the same amount of exercise that I did when I was 40 and 30. I just don't run like I did when I was 20, but I can still get the same amount of weight up, and it's just about maintaining. And we don't. And I talk to a lot of the AMC family. Like, you got to build them up so they can maintain it. And as they start to build up, their body starts wanting to work out, exercise. Like my hardest thing was writing the book was I didn't exercise a lot during the summer because I was writing the book. You're telling me to go. I'm like, oh, I got this thing. I got to go write in the book, and it messed me up a lot because my body was like, yo, David, you got to go exercise, bud. You're killing your body right now. So I think writing the book was hard for me because I didn't exercise for like maybe a month and a half straight, and my body was just dying to go out there and exercise again. And my parents, they built that into me as a young kid, on 0 to 10 or birth to 10 years of age. I believe that's huge in our AMC bodies, because that's when the body's learning how to do everything. Your muscles are growing, your bones are growing, and as you start to build stuff up, you'll start to see that happening. You'll start to see your body be better and stronger between 11 and 20. And that's what I think is important, that 0 to 10, because my parents pushed me hard from 0 to birth to 10. It was nonstop. We just found therapies and we made everything fun. Like I can remember picking up quarters off the floor. My mom's like, "You're gonna pick up some quarters off the floor," and the AMC hands, that's pretty hard. But when you throw 20 quarters on the floor and you got 2 minutes to pick them up, you gotta go to work. You gotta get those fingers going. And so that was tough. And just doing stuff like we just did random stuff. And I know in the book, one thing I talk about was I want to catch a ball. And the therapist was like, I don't know if this can happen. And my mom's like, he wants to catch a ball. So I think it was like the first couple of weeks, my mom told me, I don't remember much of this. She said all they did was throw the ball at you and hit you in the stomach all day long. And all you did was like, ouch, ouch, ouch. Little by little, my brain was like, no, you got to put your hands up. You got to put your arm up. You got to do something. You got to start blocking the ball. All you can do is break a rib cage catching and hitting the ball like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know if your arm started working or if your brain just got tired of getting hit with the ball. But finally, you started catching the ball. And like now, I catch whatever you throw at me. If it's a foot above my head or down on my knees, I'm catching it. And I know my dad would get mad if I dropped the ball. If he threw the ball at me, like, why did you drop that ball? Because my hands are small. Oh, you better go get that ball. And so that's kind of like my mindset was with my parents was like we had to push to the next level. And they made me think bigger than anything else. And when I become a teacher, I thought I had all these cool physical therapists that helped me out in life. All these physical therapists that pushed me to the next level. And my mom was like, you can't be a mechanic, Dave. It's going to be hard to be a mechanic. Your hands aren't going to work to be a mechanic. You can catch a ball, but you can't fix a carburetor. And so I really thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe being a teacher would be a good thing because I can help push kids at a level like my parents and my therapist pushed me at. It would just be academically more than physically. And so I ended up becoming a teacher out of high school. I became a teacher at the age of 23. I was like scared to talk to parents because I was like, they're older than me. And I was like, I can't recommend you read with your kids, but if you don't want to, you don't have to because I don't have kids and I don't read to my kids either. So, but it's been a cool experience. You know, I'm at the end of my teaching career and it's been fun.
So how did you start becoming a coach? And please tell us about your nonprofit as well.
Becoming a coach is hard. Becoming a coach with a disability is even harder because you have to have like I have a strong mindset. My voice is really loud. I'm in person. I'm a very dominant person in the room. And coaching, all these kids in my class were fighting one day in my first year teaching. And I was talking to them. I'm like, why are you guys fighting? You guys are all friends. And they were like, Coach, they're like, Mr. Solano, his team being my team and they're making fun of us. And I was like, you guys all go to the same school. Why are you on different teams? And they're like, well, that's how the park set it up. And I was like, well, that's dumb. I'm going to go be your coach next year then. And I really didn't know that was going to be like an everyday thing. But I started having fun with it. And then I had a daughter on the way in a couple of years. And I was like, I got to learn how to get paid for this little job I'm doing here. And so I started applying for all these school jobs. And everybody told me no. Everybody, yet all my players that I was coaching at the rec centers were all becoming high school all-stars. And I was like, well, I'm getting all these high school all-stars. I can't get a coaching job. And I would get good interviews over the phone. It was before the internet was around. And over the phone, they'd be like, yeah, come on down, fill the paperwork out, we'll get you in. And when I show up in person, they'd be like, oh, you're David Solano. We just hired somebody yesterday. We're sorry. And I was like, man, I can infer. I'm not an idiot, you know? And
Yeah.
But I understood I had to get an AD, a letter director, who would take a chance on a man with a disability. And so I was going to my 13th interview. I was mad. I told my wife, I'm going to go get told no one more time. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to go be a jerk in this interview. I'm going to be a complete jerk. No matter what they say, I'm going to be the jerk. And so the interview was going the same as all the other interviews were going. And then I said, if you hire me, I'm winning you the state championship this year. And they all started laughing at me. But I didn't laugh. I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being told no.
Yeah.
And I know I'm eligible to do this job. And they laughed. And then they said, you're not kidding. And I said, no, I'm here to win a championship. And they're like, you know, our school's never won one, right? And I go, I don't even care about what your history is. I'm creating a history now. And they said, well, you're hired. And then I said, oh my God, what do I do now? It was before cell phones, so I had to like drive home to tell my wife. And it was a long drive home. I remember I talk about it in the book, the drive home was like, my mom had already passed away. So I couldn't call her on the phone to talk to her about it. And I was just like, it was like all these no's came in, all the stuff, all the tribulation that we had to go through is coming to an end because I was like, I made it to this level. And I made it to a paid coach. I'm coaching regular kids in a big event. And I remember like the drive home was just amazing. I can't tell you what song was playing. I can't tell you if it was rainy or cloudy, but I can tell you that I was on cloud 9 driving home. I don't even know if I ran a red light that day. And it was amazing. And I remember after that first year, we actually went undefeated,
Nice,
and we ended up winning the state championship.
nice.
And we're waiting to get the trophy at the end of the game, the championship trophy. And everybody celebrated. And yeah, little Drake walked up and said, "Coach, I thought you were joking when you said you were going to win this thing." And in my head, I was like, I wasn't kind of joking, but my mom had always told me one thing. She said, "David, when you get in the door that's been shut on you, don't be content with getting in. Show you're the best." And
Mhm.
at that moment, I was
Mhm.
showing I was the best.
Yeah,
And so
that's
that's
awesome.
that's and now I've just been a coach. I mean, we went back and we've lost a couple of championship games, but we're always in the hunt. And my thing is you should always be relevant. And my teams are always relevant. My teams are always in the mix for it. I think I lost the hunger to win a championship again because I won one. And I felt it validated that I belonged there. It validated that I belonged with all the other coaches. And the
Mhm.
thing that was really tough in all them years was those first 4 years, no coach would shake my hand.
Hmm.
No coach would give me a fist bump after a game. No coach would say, hey coach, good game. They would just all walk away.
Yeah,
And that bothered me a lot. That bothered me internally. I didn't really let it out because I didn't want my players to know about it. But as
sure.
they started to catch on to it, they were like, "Coach, let's not shake hands." And it bothered me because if I argued and said something, then I would look like a whiner. And
Right.
I didn't want to be a whiner because I knew I was beating everybody. But then in my 5th year, I went to a different school and they had a really bad record and I was taking over a really bad team. And so we lost a little bit that year. And then all of a sudden the coaches were shaking my hand and I was like, "So you beat me, you shake my hand. I win, you don't shake my hand." And so it was kind of alarming, the eye popping to see how people react to when they lose to a man with a disability. And to me, it was like,
Mhm.
you guys come into this game and you think I'm the underdog, but I went through too much work to be an underdog. I'm already the favorite. They
Right.
don't realize that, and that's why a lot of them lose because they're not the favorite when they walk in the gym with me. They know, really, in reality, they're an underdog. I'm not the underdog anymore.
Right. That's an amazing story. That's awesome.
David, I have a question for you. Um,
hmm
I know that as a teacher and when you're coaching kids, there's a special bond that is formed. Um, is there a student, a child that impacted you in a unique way? And can you tell us about that?
Oh, I have like, oh my God, I have a lot that impacted me. I have one that I talk about in my book, and it's really hard because she came to basketball practice the first day. I was her teacher, and she came to basketball practice. She's like, "I want to play basketball with you, coach." And I was like, "I don't know. You're a girl. I never coached girls before. I don't know if this is gonna work out." And she came the first day in high heels, and I was like, "Well, I know we got to change your shoes because you can't wear high heels to basketball practice." And she was like,
Did you
"I
say
know."
high heels?
Yeah, she was. Not high heels, but the little like. She was like 10 years old. She had little clogs with a heel on the back.
Oh,
I
little
was like,
probably
"Girl,
wedges.
we can't be doing that." So later on, I started coaching her. She ended up becoming the #1 ranked player in Arizona her 8th grade year.
Wow.
And all
Wow.
these schools were recruiting her. And her mom missed practice one day to go somewhere, and they were hit by a car. And the mom over the mom took the brunt of the hit, and the little girl ended up both of her knees were broken. Did have head trauma. She didn't wake up until I went into the hospital and I talked to her. And she
Mm.
woke up and they were like, "You woke her up. She heard your voice." The mom didn't make the accident, didn't survive the accident. And so I took it under myself to become like the girl, like almost like she had a dad, but like to
Mhm.
become like an uncle kind of. And now the little girl, she's like 32 now, and she's actually the godmother to my youngest daughter. So I had to figure
Oh,
out a way to get her into like my family somehow. And so I was like, you're gonna be the godmother to my daughter and she ended up becoming the first in her family to graduate college, and she got a master's degree, and it was amazing to see what she did. In
Awesome.
fact, on my book, she's the one that wrote the part on my Amazon page about the book. And yeah, I talked to her regularly, and she was the biggest impact that I had because I was when her mom passed. I was like, I gotta follow this kid around. I gotta help her out through high school. I gotta help her out through
Mhm.
every day of her life, and it's cool now. She's a mother of 2 kids and the godmother of my daughter, and
Mhm.
one of the many that have a big impact on me. And so it's kind of like I get choked up talking about her a lot. But it just these kids, some of these kids come in, and I'm not a coach that says you're in my life for this 1 year. If you're in my life for a season, you're in my life for the rest of my life. And so kids, when I do Solano No Limit Hoops, every other night we have a different kid from my different eras come back to visit me and come and talk to me and talk to the new kids that I work with to tell them, hey, if you follow coach's rules, you're gonna go somewhere in life.
Mhm.
And so that's the beauty community. People think we have a basketball team. We have a real basketball community, and if you're not building community as a coach, then you shouldn't be coaching, period.
So well said.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So David, tell us about Solano's No Limits. Everybody needs to know about it.
Mhm.
Solano's No Limit Hoops is the coolest thing. You don't have to like basketball or not, but kids in our community just love Solano's No Limit Hoops. They cannot wait for February to come around. I'm already getting messages. Is it opening up soon? Is it opening up soon? I'm like, nah. Till February. We open up from President's Day until the second the second Thursday in May. So we do 25 nights because I love it, but man, 25 nights is a lot of long nights after you teach all day long.
Yeah.
So I gotta pace myself and my family. We gotta pace ourselves because they're long nights. And some nights it's not just about basketball; it's about talking to a kid. Sometimes they just want to come in the gym and talk. They don't want to play ball. They just want to talk to you, and they know that I'm there. They know that my wife is there, and they see that family effect. They know my daughters are there, so they know I'm being a dad, and they talk to my daughters, and they just have that family feel. So it's a really big family feel. What we do is I went and I opened up a gym, and we invite kids who just want to play basketball. We don't really want the high school basketball players. We want the kids who get cut, and we want the kids who are about to drop out of school to come into our gym. If
Mhm.
we get those kids to change their attitudes, maybe they'll stay in school a little longer. You don't have to be on the high school basketball team to like basketball, and you don't have to be on the high school basketball team to stay in school. And so we get these kids, and I know some principals will come to our gym. They'll be like, "You got that kid and that kid together?"
Hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, but they're under my rules. They're going to behave. They know that if they cuss in my gym, I kick them out. They know what the rules are in my gym. They know that there's none of that business going on. It's coaches' rules, and that's it. And I'm the bottom line. No matter no matter what their argument is, what I say goes, and they respect it. But I give them respect, so they give me respect back. And so
Mhm.
our gym is it's amazing. It's cool when you got 65 kids in there from 10 different schools. You're supposed to have arguing and fighting, but we don't. We have high fiving and hugging, and that's
Nice.
what we want. That's what because a lot of people don't understand. Just because they're big minority kids who look like they're gonna beat you up in the parking lot, they still want a sticker for good behavior. They still want a pat on the back telling them, "Hey, you did a good job tonight." They still want that. They just may not look like they want it, but they really do want it.
Mhm.
They want you to, hey, tonight you get the belt because you're the champ. They want that championship belt that we carry around. And so that's what we opened it up about 5 years ago, and we've been awarded grants from the Phoenix Suns and other organizations, and it's been
Nice.
cool because we've been able to take kids to Phoenix Suns basketball games, which tickets are like $150 a ticket, and
Yeah.
the Suns have given us
Wow.
sets of 25 tickets to take a lot of kids to games over the last couple of years. So that's amazing with what we do with them with the kids, and memories they'll have for the rest of their life. And
Awesome.
you want to give a kid a memory, right?
Hey,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
what a
That's
great cause.
awesome. Yes. Do you have a website, David, for your organization?
Yeah, it's like if you Google Solano's No Limit Hoops, I don't even know the name. Like it's like Wixie, Solano's No Limit Hoops, Wixie. Something I'm just barely starting that out. Like I'm just starting everything on. We just do it on our own. We kind of don't really have like big people helping us, but we've applied for
Mhm.
grants. We actually won the grant, so we're kind of knowing what we're doing a little bit more, and
Yeah.
we're trying to get bigger and stronger, and we love what we do. Like I know we're throwing a big school tournament in the beginning of December, and it'll be our 5th annual one, and the last year's one drew over 300 people per day at our
Nice.
tournament. So that's a big
Wow.
draw we get, and it's a big help for our program when they come out and they support and they pay to come in, and we only charge $3, but they just want to come in and hang out and talk, a lot of them, and watch the basketball game. So we do a special boys day, and we have a girls tournament. We get 90 girl athletes to come in, and they go for the Solano belts, which is really fun to watch.
Nice.
Awesome. Very
Well,
cool.
congratulations
Um,
on,
Yes.
yeah, on the success and the stories and the journey and all of the kids whose lives have been transformed because of what you've done. That's pretty cool.
Thank you so much. My voice is almost going. My voice is I'm recovering from a cold, and when you talk all day and coach all afternoon, your voice gets all cracking. So I'm like, you're not cracking. But no, I
Well,
think
you've
the book.
been busy on the news and everything. You've been
Oh,
spotlighted on, is it your local news?
yeah, we were on the local news a couple of weeks ago, and then I won some $1 million teacher award, which I was nominated for, and I won that, and so that was really cool. They gave us like Phoenix Suns tickets in the box suite, and kind of together, but they put it on the
Nice.
jumbotron. They did like a 2-minute video on the jumbotron. It was pretty
Nice.
touching, to be honest. I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
I kind of want to meet that guy after the game's over.
That's
So
awesome.
that was pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's cool. If you get a chance, go watch that video on my page. It's a pretty touching video.
Well
I
deserved,
think everybody
David.
should.
Well deserved. Yes, absolutely. I think all of your posts on your Facebook page public, right, David? So anybody,
Yeah,
if
they're all
they're
public.
not friends with you, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they're all
So yeah,
public,
look
and
up David.
And look at the book. Yeah,
Awesome.
the book. I think the book for AMC families, I think it would be big for some of them. I think, as I talk to a lot of your members of your group, I think the book can help some of the young boys and girls really try to overcome more obstacles, because sometimes we hit an obstacle and we're like, where's my accommodation at? And sometimes we don't need the accommodation. We just need to work a little bit harder. Sometimes we need the accommodation though,
Mhm.
but sometimes you got to go up a little bit higher sometimes. And I think my book talks about that. And I think like becoming a coach for an AMC person, that's a hard thing. And like it's really, like, I talk to some of people and they're like, how do you do the games when they stare at you? And I'm like, they don't stare at me, they boo me. There's a big difference.
Mhm.
I'm not one to be stared at anymore because I'm around so much. But
Mhm.
beating me is actually an accomplishment. So I like it when they boo me. It makes me feel better. At least they know who I am. When I
Yeah.
go into a gym, in there, if I walk in there, being booed is fun. Like, it helps my team focus more. And
Right.
so it's really and I think that's what some of the kids, being stared at is not a big thing. Being made fun of, I get it, can get you upset and hurt, but overcoming all of that stuff is huge for you. And
Mhm.
I think the book talks about overcoming all of that, and I think that would help a lot of young families, a lot of young boys and girls out. It's not the end of the world to come to an obstacle. It's not the end of the world. It's getting over that obstacle and then finding the next obstacle then, because the next one's going to be bigger. Because
Mhm.
right now, like, I'm trying to become a high school coach, and I can't get a job. I applied at 30 schools in the last 3 years, and I only had one interview.
Mhm.
Then I go to every interview and they know who I am. So I'm like, man, this is weird, but I know it's coming, and I'll
Mhm.
be ready when it's there. And when it's there, I'm gonna go win a state championship again, and claim my state because if I say I'm the best, then I have to show that I'm the best when I get out there.
Mhm.
And so that's my next obstacle right now, is becoming a high school coach.
You know, think about the as you were telling the story about being booed, I couldn't help but think about, yes, there's still some people that may do that, but think about how many children and generations and youth groups that you have forever transformed as far as their belief systems and their opinions of disability. So you really have created a whole new wave and a new generation of people who are allies, supporters, right? Understanding, welcoming of people from all walks of life, just from having met you and worked with you and learned from you. So for whatever many boers may be out there, it sounds as though there's 10 times just as many that you
Yeah,
have transformed in a positive way. So that's quite the legacy for you to have.
yeah, it is, and I get it, and that's why, like, I'm a person who I don't cuss, and so the kids are like, Coach, can I just cuss at that person? Yeah, you would hear me say a bad word. So why are you gonna? Because I'll say something. Like this summer, I was coaching a summer league game, and the opposing coach went all crazy during the game, and he started throwing stuff and hollering, and I was like, "Come on, man!" So then they ended up they had to like put me on the side. So they didn't know if he was gonna come after me and like want to fight and everything, and I was like, I'm like this guy. Like you let him work with kids, he has to understand he's going to lose to me. He wasn't going to beat me when the game started. Actually, the game we won by 43 points, and he's like, we were close, and I was like, last time I looked, 43 points wasn't very close. But it's part of, and it's
It's a matter of perspective, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, 43 points though. When you do basketball, that's 21 baskets, 22 baskets you're behind. So you're, but it was like I wasn't. It's not about, and I'm not about beating kids because winning is I win when when I walk into a gym and people tell me, "How you doing, coach?" I win when people give me a fist bump. I win when people come into the gym and tell me, "Coach, I'm glad to see you again." That's winning. I don't gotta look at the scoreboard to win anymore. If I gotta look at the scoreboard to win, then I'm not. Then basketball is the wrong thing because we also focus on the power of yet. Some of my athletes aren't ready to be top competitors yet. They're still working. They're working right now. They're working hard. Like right now, my team this year, they're going to get beat a lot this year. They're not very good yet. But next year, oh, they're going to be good. Next year, we're back in the hunt. But this year, we're learning because it's the power of yet. They're going to work every day. And I think, and that's why we talk to a lot of the AMC families. You got to work on that power of yet with your kids. You're not there yet, but you're going to be at the age of 5. You're not going to be able to open the bag of chips. But if you keep working and trying and working them muscles, at the age of 7, you're going to be able to open them. It might take you it might only take you a year, maybe at the age of 6 you open it. But with that power of yet is so huge. Because like you can say, oh, I can't do that. No, you can say, I can't do that yet. And that yet helps the brain understand, oh, I gotta keep working. Because once you say I can't do that, your brain shuts down.
Right.
Like, I was teaching 4-digit division, 4-digit by 1-digit division today. And my kid's like, I don't get it. No, I don't get it yet. You gotta understand, like, you're not gonna get it on the first try. It's gonna take a few tries. With our young Arthur guy Bush, trying to pick up a pencil, trying to pick up the quarter off the floor. It's not gonna happen the first try. Not gonna happen the second try. It might happen the 50th or 500th try. But if you keep working, that power of it's gonna get you to that next level. Sorry, I went off on a tangent, but I forgot about the power of that's like a whole chapter in my book, and I talk about that with kids all the time. It's like the power of my classroom, the power of my basketball practices, and it's what got me through every obstacle that I went through is the power of
I love it.
So David, I know that you have talked to a lot of our community members on Facebook, and I know that a lot of our folks reach out to you because you are very, very loud and you make noise in our community, which is something that we definitely need, especially from our adults. A lot of our moms and dads who are just now either getting the diagnosis of arthrogryposis or have a child that's under 1 year old and they are completely discouraged. That first year of having an AMC is absolutely the hardest. What words of wisdom do you have for them, especially in times of when they're in doubt or they're just feeling a certain way about I know a lot just have a lot of sadness and a lot of grief in their own ways, but also a lot of worry about their AMC.
I know my mom told me, and my mom never knew anybody with arthrogryposis in her life. She died, she passed away when I was 32 years old, and she didn't know anybody else in the world had arthrogryposis. My dad, I had a family come to Phoenix from Florida, and they came to my house, and their daughter had arthrogryposis, and they met my dad, and my dad was blown away that that somebody else had arthrogryposis. My dad's 74 years old, and he's only met one other person with arthrogryposis. So I sometimes think, and I know the community gives a lot of good information out, but sometimes just the unknown helps you out. Like my mom gave me 3 things about arthrogryposis and I never looked it up either. I never really looked it up until about 5 years ago when I found you guys. What she told me, it doesn't get worse with age. It doesn't shorten your lifespan. And the third thing is you control how far you go in life. And so that's all I ever focused on. I never looked up the word arthrogryposis until 5 years ago, and a man asked me to do a video about my disability, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, man. And so I looked it up, and that's when I found you. I think I called you right away and called the AMC number right away because I was like, there's more people in the world with it. I was 40 years old and I didn't know anybody else had it. And I tell the families, I think it's really important that you work. You don't cry in front of your kid though. You don't cry in front of them. Because I know my mom, when she was dying, on her deathbed, her and I had a long conversation. And I remember when I talk about it in my book, she said, David, tomorrow when you come back to the hospital to visit me, we gotta talk about every obstacle that you ever faced. And I said, no, Mom, we're not doing that. She's like, yeah, I need closure. And I was like, no, it's not the end of your life though. She's like, no, we need to do this. And so we had this talk, and then my question was, why didn't you cry, Mom? I cried all the time, but why didn't you? And she said, David, if I cried, how would you have been strong to face every battle? If I would have cried, how would you have reacted when you came across somebody being mean to you? How would you react? And I thought about him like, man, she's like, I did cry though, David. She said, I cried every time you went to bed. I cried every night, every day when you went to school, I cried. She said, because I couldn't cry in front of you because I needed you to be strong. And so I would tell the young families, don't cry in front of them, don't show anger for them. And don't give the term arthrogryposis so much power.
Right.
Because arthrogryposis lives with me. I don't live with arthrogryposis.
Exactly.
It's in my backpack.
Right.
It's not on my chest. And like my personal opinion, I wouldn't wear a shirt. I know you guys gave me this shirt and I did wear it once. I felt really weird wearing it, but I wouldn't wear something that said arthrogryposis on it. I'm not giving that word that much power. I'm giving the power to me, what I'm doing with my life. And arthrogryposis is behind me. It's behind me. The second I lay down and stiffen up, then arthrogryposis catches up to me. And I want to be ahead of it at all times. So the days that I don't work out, when I was writing my book and I didn't work out, arthrogryposis was catching up to me. And now that I got to get back in the gym and get going again, I got to push it farther away from me. Because I view it as a person. I view arthrogryposis as a person, and it's a person that's chasing me down to lock my joints up. And from 0 to 10, I was getting a head start on being ahead of it. 10 to 20, I was really far ahead of it. And 30 to 40, I still feel I'm pretty far ahead of it. And that's just my opinion on that. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but it's just, I believe it lives with us, we don't live with it. And we got to make our own story. And I tell them, have your kid make his own story, make her own story, find something they like and have them go that route. I love sports, so I wanted to become a coach. I wanted to become a basketball player, but at 5'1", I'm not doing that. But that was my dream. My dream was to work with sports, and I live in my dream, and I'm working with sports. And it's not common to see a disabled man working with kids in sports.
Well, David, this is
Wow.
Anna. I'm sorry I was driving for the first 20 minutes of the call, so I was kind of muted and everything. But I just wanted to chime in and say that that story with your mom, I'm gonna start crying. You had amazing parents, just amazing parents. And working with kids, whether they have orthogryposis or not, like you were saying earlier, if they have some type of disadvantage, whether it's living in a bad neighborhood or maybe one parent is absent, whatever the case may be, you are an inspiration to them. And that's just the way you are. And you remind me, I don't know if anybody knows about this. They made a movie about this man who he was a teacher, a math teacher, and I think he was out in the West Coast. He was.
Yes, Jaime Escalante.
Escalante, exactamente. And so he was an inspiration. He brought those kids, the grades were the best grades, I think, in the state or something like that. So inspiration is inspiration, and whether they can open a bag of chips or they go on to be a teacher and they get out of their neighborhood, that's a win. That really is a win. So I congratulate you, and we need more people like you. You should come to our meeting, to our conference. and be an inspiration that way. You should also consider maybe, you're such a presence, being maybe an inspiration to orthopedic people out west, maybe having meetups and things like that. You can do a lot. You've already done a lot, but you can do so much more.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm down to do however. I'm not shying away from helping people out. I wanted to be like I found the community 5 years ago, and I felt like I've been pushed away. Like I don't know, like I don't get the likes like everybody else does in the Africa Post world. But I don't know. I talk to the family, talk to the parents when they want to talk, and I reach out to them. I do Zooms with a lot of them, and I tell them you got to push. I believe in working at a high level. I believe in no rest. I believe I would have been by 11 o'clock. I'm good to be up at 5:30 to go the next day because I got 33 kids waiting for me to go to teach. Then I got 15 kids ready for basketball practice. And then during my Solano hoops, I got 65 kids waiting for me to go do that. Then I got to be a dad. I got a daughter who plays basketball, and I got a daughter who's a cheerleader, so I got to go to all their events. And I will never miss any event. And I got kids playing right now in like 8 different high school basketball teams. I got to go watch all of them guys play. And so, we rest when we're gone, I guess. Right now, and when you show up and you tell a kid who feels they have no hope, and you show up in the doorway and you watch them play, that gives them a lasting memory for the rest of their life.
Oh, absolutely. They only need one person to believe in them. Only one. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a parent. It doesn't have to be a grandmother. It can be anyone.
No, I have a set of twins that we work with that are boy and girl twins, and they lost their mom to COVID. And they come to our gym all the time. They're like our little stepkids almost. They're always around us, and they're going to a faraway high school. And I'm like, we'll be at some games. I'll be there to cheer you on. We're always going to be there for you guys. I'm not a one and done coach with you guys. It's my life. You're part of my life now, and kids know that, and they know that because they come to the gym. They're 13 years old. And they see 31-year-olds, 25-year-olds come to the gym. They're like, "I just came to see coach. I'm not coming to watch play basketball." And they're like, coach, they're still following coach, and he's still going to follow me when I'm 25. And that's how we make an impact on kids. You want a kid to be better in life, then you reach out to that kid and you help that kid be better. And I believe I helped a lot of kids from my neighborhood graduate college, and that's huge. That's huge in our neighborhood. I think the percentage is like 7% of our kids go to college in our area. But yeah, in my 25 years of teaching, I got 2 students who are now teachers. That's huge, and they're teaching in my community. And so that's making an impact on these kids. I got other kids with their master's degree working in other jobs and being.
How do we get a copy of your book, David?
You got to go to Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes, on Amazon.
Amazon?
You type in anything is possible, a journey of resilience. You'll see this cool looking picture of me. I don't like a lot of pictures.
Okay.
is
Amazon,
my favorite
anything
picture
is
of me ever.
possible.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a good book. I mean, it's a quick read. You'll like it. I believe you'll like it. You'll get into it. You'll cry a little bit in there. I guarantee you'll cry. If you don't cry, then I did a bad job. But I'm pretty sure in chapters 12 and 13, you'll have to get some tissue. And then in chapter 14 or 15, you'll be so mad at the world. And then another chapter, you'll be happy. I'll share this one story. Can I share one story real quick?
Sure.
So the one story in the book, one story that's really good in the book is one time I was a junior in college, ready to graduate, almost ready to graduate to be a teacher. And I was I was at the university, Arizona State University, nice campus away from my tough neighborhood. I went in to get a soda because it was hot. I missed the bus, and I was denied service. The man threw a cup at me. Now, picking up a cup is harder for somebody who's autograph poses. And I was mad. And then he threw my coins on the floor. I put them on the counter. I knew it was like 5 quarters. I put like 6 quarters on the counter, and he threw them off the counter. Now, I wanted to blow up, but I understood. I don't know if he discriminated against me because I was handicapped or disabled, or because I was Mexican. I didn't know. I didn't care either, though. I just knew that if I blow up and I make a a mess of the store, all they're gonna say is the brown disabled man made a mess of the store.
Mhm.
And I had trouble. I couldn't tell my friends about it in the beginning because my friends would have went and just ransacked the whole store. My dad wanted to go kill the man, but like, my dad, we had to calm him down. And the thing is, a lot of it, like I take it was, my goal was to be better. I can't tell this story again if I blew up on that man. I can't go tell kids, yo, be nice to the teacher when he tells you to behave
Mhm.
if I blow up on this man. Because I can't. There's no way you can share that story.
Mhm.
And so sometimes you can have the worst story around, but how
Hey,
you're
do
how you mentally take it in.
that
Yes.
title written down?
And so when you read the story, that I go into real detail in the book in that one, and it's a really, that's one that'll make you really mad when you read that part of the book.
Mhm.
You have an excellent perspective in life. There's a story that I like to listen to. It's called something a brain. I can't remember it. It's something. It's about psychology, and they were talking about the hidden brain. And so they were lately. They were talking about the power of rewriting your life, rewriting, or you can tell your story a way that you may be a victim. You can tell the story of how you came above all the obstacles that you had in your life. So it's about how you rewrite your story, how you tell your story. And the story that you're telling is an amazing one. And that's exactly the way probably that you talk to these kids is, you know what, you may be going through some hardships right now, but you have to, the story continues. Let's have a good chapter and end with a good note, not on a down note, but on an upward note. And it makes a huge difference in your life. The outlook on life. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, it does. It makes, and I don't know, it's tough. It's tough when you go through stuff. But in the end, my goal was to be a teacher and to make an impact in kids' lives. And not to be mean to the man, but he was working at a sandwich shop as a 50-year-old man, probably not making a lot of money.
That's
My
right.
goal was to make money. So in the end, I'm like, I'm going to be the winner in this whole thing. And I know a few years back, because that happened like in 1990, 96, 97, I went back and that store wasn't even there anymore. And so like, where did he go? He
Mhm.
didn't have, I mean, it wasn't unless he was the owner of it, but I don't think he was the owner. And my mom did call them and they gave us free sandwich coupons for a year. We were like, wow, thanks a lot,
Yes.
But what we did was we drove a homeless man over there every day when I was in that area, and we gave him a coupon to go in there and get a free sandwich. They were
Nice.
always because the homeless man went into their store.
Nice.
You paid it forward too.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we ain't gonna use them coupons. We give it to somebody else to have a coupon. I'm not. We weren't gonna go in there and have to. You had to buy your soda with your free sandwich, and I wasn't gonna give that man any of my money anymore. And
Right.
my goal, and in the end, I'm winning now because I have a huge following of kids who are aiming to be better in life.
Right.
And he wasn't aiming to be better in life. He was aiming to be a negative man.
Right.
And, he might have been having a bad day at the job, but it don't matter. When you open the doors, you got to be happy and friendly. If you're not happy and friendly when you open the doors, well, then stay inside and go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely. Well, David, we are so thankful for you carving out some time with AMCSI and Together Tuesdays. We're so, so thankful. I know you're busy, and I know that I have hounded you about restarting some Zooms with our kids. So I'm hoping, we could carve out another maybe hour of your time, because I think your message is so important, and I know our kids enjoy you on our Zoom calls. So we would love to really in for that if possible. I know basketball season is totally out for you, but anytime that you are available for our kids, we would absolutely love to have you. I know they enjoy your company and your silly Smurf
Oh yeah,
avatars.
yeah. I think that app broke. I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, no, I'll come back
Yeah.
around. It's basketball season
Yeah.
starting next week, so we'll be busy, but I can on weekends I can try
Yep.
to look in there and see what's happening right now. We're just
Of course,
we're trying to get the book out
yeah.
there. But yeah, if you guys buy the book though and read it and take it in, and if you have questions, message me all the time about the book. And I think it's a book that the community here would really, really enjoy to read and really get a lot of information from. I think some of these younger parents, like you're talking about the younger parents, I think it can help give them a different perspective than what they're looking forward to. And I know I come across as a different adult and a loud voice and all that, but you got to be loud. You got to be powerful in the room. And
Yes.
and I think that's what our AMC people
That
need
you
to do.
are.
You got to be powerful in that room. You got to come out and say, I'm the greatest because I did all this work to be the greatest.
Well, David, you
Absolutely.
can come and do a book signing at the conference. I mean,
Oh yeah,
live.
yeah.
That would be
You'll
awesome.
live book
Yeah,
signing.
I know I'm doing one at I'm doing one for Sewall in October. I just did one, but it was a virtual. They sent me like 50 books and then I had to sign them and send them back. And then I
Mhm.
did a virtual video for them. And
Mhm.
but I'm their speaker at their big celebration next October. I know that.
You can even do a session. I mean, we have so many sessions during the
That would
conference.
be a great idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll do a session. I'll do a session where we do working out. I'll bring a bunch of basketballs in. I'll get every kid
Oh,
catching the ball
that'd
by
be
the time I'm done.
great.
Absolutely.
I
I'll
love
do
that
a-
idea.
I'll do a full 60-minute workout.
That'd
Every
be
kid, will leave,
fun.
every kid will leave worn out.
Beautiful.
Go to bed.
So we should
Right.
have you close the conference then, so they will stay until the end to see you and have them all leave inspired with basketballs and ready to face the
Yes.
world.
Love
Yeah,
that.
we'll get them going. I mean, I don't just come with a little bit of energy. I come with a ton of energy.
Nice.
I come with a voice that's going to get everybody moving. And
Yes.
we got to get movement. So we'll
It
do
sounds to me like a great way to close the conference.
we'll do the
I
100
love it.
squat challenge. We'll do the for every month I do a 3,000 squat challenge. My goal is you got to do 100 squats a day.
Wow.
At the end of the
Nice.
month is 3,000 squats.
Right, yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch, it's all right.
That's a good
Give it a
challenge.
shot. Give it a shot. Give it a shot one month.
I'm lucky if I get to 50, maybe even 20, not
No,
100.
You got to do 5 sets of 20 with a 10-second intermission.
Right.
And you got to keep your legs. Our EMC
I'll
people, we
try
got to
to
keep our
that.
base.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, you got to keep your base strong. You got to keep that base strong. And tell the EMC people, you got to keep that base. Your base has to be strong for you to move because our arms don't move all the way. But if your base and your core are
That's
strong,
true.
That's right.
everything can move a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, like, if I can pick up everything,
That's true.
a lot of it's coming from my core. And so you got to be able to do sit-ups and crunches and all of that other stuff. And then squats, just transferring from your chair to not being in a chair. The squats help that out. However you can do the squat, you do a squat. And
Mhm.
you do 100 a day for a month, you'll see a lot of difference at the end of the month. You'll be sore, and you'll see a big difference.
I like that challenge. I might take you up on that one.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. It's your quads and your groin will be like, oh my god, what am I doing? By day 5. But then after day 6, 7, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. Then day 20, you'll be like, oh my god, it's tough. But then
Yeah,
day 26, you're like, oh, it's not that bad anymore.
Yeah, you
Hey,
gotta
that's a
get over
good-
that,
that's-
you gotta get over that hill. That's what it is.
That's a good
Comes
fundraising
out.
challenge.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could put
do
a
it.
dollar to a squat.
Yeah. Or an ice cream scoop. I don't know.
Oh.
I'll
Well,
squat for
such a
ice cream.
such a pleasure to meet you, David. It truly is. What an honor to have you here with us and listen to your story and your passion and how you've overcome adversity and the powerhouse that you have become, because it doesn't sound from what you're saying that you're slowing down anytime soon.
No, I told my wife, I've got 5 more years of doing all of this stuff, and then we're just going to chill out. Then we're going to chill. I said 5 more years of doing everything at full speed, and then I'm going to just relax and enjoy life.
Nice.
I'm enjoying it now, but like in 5 years, like we're not going to have appointments to go to, games to go to. We're not going to have Facebook in 5 years. It might be 10, but right now it's 5 because I can retire teaching in 2 years. And I
Good
want
for
to see
you.
what the book does. I want to see what the book does with public speaking in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because one thing that before I go is in 1979, I wasn't even allowed to go to public school.
Mhm.
The ADA wasn't invented yet. So I wasn't allowed to go to public school in 1979. I wasn't allowed to go to public school. My mom fought the school district. They sent
Mhm.
me to a faraway school like for 3 years. And then in 3 years, in third grade, I was allowed to go to my first day to my neighborhood public school. So you got to go from 1979. And then in 1998, I was given the keys to a classroom.
Right.
You got to think that's a crazy amount of time, but a crazy amount of work. And that power of yet is what God is there. The
Mhm.
power of yet is what God is there. So when you leave tonight, think about the power of yet and how it's going to take you guys places.
What a great way to close today's session.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you,
I
Power
David.
of
love
yes.
that.
All right, you guys have a good one. Stay safe and stay happy and friendly out there.
Thank you,
Thank
David.
you so much, David. We appreciate
too.
you so much.
You're welcome.
So much. Awesome. All right, Ted, close us out.
Well, we want to thank you again, David. It was a pleasure meeting you and listening to your stories. And again, everybody go to Amazon, buy that book, read it, and hit them up to let us know. We'll put the link on the site as well at the end of this. Next week, we're going to be possibly having Rini on here talking about the Giving Tuesday on the 20, or not next week, I'm sorry, on the 28th. Next week, we're going to be off because it's the week of Thanksgiving, so we want everybody to enjoy their travel time and their family time, and we'll see everybody on the 28th. And tonight's secret word is stuffing. We're going to stick with the whole like Thanksgiving theme this month. So stuffing is the secret word. So the first 5 people that email us back at info@amcsupport.org will get a free t-shirt. And again, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and be strong and be safe, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone. Thank you.
Good night,
Thanks, David.
everybody. You're welcome. Good night.
Good night. All right. Hi, Chris.